All right, so Bert Show fam, we're going to need your help with this one. A listener hit us up saying and asking, when should she tell her son that the man he thinks is his biological father isn't, but this man does want to adopt him? So if you've been in a situation like this, we always lean on you to help out fellow listeners. And anytime you have any kind of dilemma, you can go to thebertshow.com and shoot us an email. All right, Davi, you got the email.
Good morning, Bert Show fam. I love your show, and I've been listening for quite some time. You guys do well with giving great advice from many perspectives, and that's just what I need right now. I need to start with a bit of backstory. My eldest son is now 4. I met his dad when I moved to Florida for rehab. After our rehab stay was complete, I had decided to permanently move to Florida in an effort to keep myself sober. Not even a month after we got out, I found out I was pregnant, and my son's father relapsed. We had one scary night where he laid his hands on me while I was pregnant, and he was drunk. I packed my stuff, and I refused to return to the house until he and his roommates that he relapsed with went back to rehab. So they did. He was in inpatient care for about a month, where we weren't allowed much contact, and then he did stay an outpatient. He never went to even one appointment with me. He was not there for the birth of my son, and he's seen him maybe 3 times in his 4 years in life. I had to force him to be a dad most of those times, and once I stopped doing that, he disappeared altogether. Mind you, this man only lives 20 minutes from us and has gotten engaged and had another son and is taking care of him. I need to mention that he also has an older son who's now about 6 and has been entirely abandoned by him as well. The man that my son has known as his dad has been in the picture since I was 7 or 8 weeks pregnant. I knew him from the job I had while I was in rehab, and we were friends first, and it grew into more. We've been together 5 years this January and have one other son. He custom made my engagement ring. We did it together, and he plans on getting engaged and married in the next few years. Saving up for a wedding while building a future for 2 young boys is really hard. When we get married, my eldest son will be adopted and take the last name of my current boyfriend. Here is obviously where it gets a little messy. My ex does not have any parental rights to my son. We were not married. He did not sign the birth certificate, and I will have him sign a waiver of rights just to be safe. I've seen the effect of holding secrets on families, and I don't want to keep this secret from my son. When do I introduce the topic of adoption? My current boyfriend doesn't think we should tell him until he's a teenager. How do I convince him that we should do it sooner? And my biggest question and my main reason for writing this, how much do I let my son's family be a part of his life? My ex, his biological father, does not reach out and has not reached out, but his parents do. They ask to see my son when they come down to Florida once a year, and they do always try and send him birthday or Christmas presents. I feel like I'm punishing them for their son's actions if I don't let them be a part of his life. And I know it may be confusing and complicated for him, and I want to do what's best for my son. I don't care about anyone else in this but him, and making sure that he doesn't wear the scars of his biological father as much as I can. Thank you guys so much.
All right, this is a difficult one. 1-855-BERT Show. If you've been in a similar situation like this, because I'll go ahead and say I think this is above our pay grade here. And I commend you for doing the hard work, for getting yourself sober, for taking care of your son. And it obviously sounds like you're putting him, not that you want to, you are putting him first and thinking of him first and foremost. Mo?
Yeah, I commend her as well for all that she's doing. I think she's handling this as well as she possibly can. As a man who grew up in a situation where my stepdad is like a father to me, the beginning of the journey is the toughest in accepting it. But once you do, it was smooth sailing for me. So I would personally say the sooner the better. I don't think you should wait until he's a teenager, because I think the longer you wait, the harder it is to deal with the fact that you feel like someone has been keeping something from you. So for me, I would say the sooner the better.
Davi?
And she said, he wants to wait. He wants to wait until the kid's a teenager. Like, how do I convince him to do it sooner? Because I agree. Like, if the child doesn't know their biological father at all, why not introduce this is your dad, like immediately? So it's just custom, instead of being a teenager and being so confused by feeling like you've been lied to for 13 or plus years. So I agree with Mo. Like, he should be told sooner, but I don't know how to convince the dad to do something he's uncomfortable with.
Hey, Sean, welcome to the Bert Show. What advice do you have for our listener?
Yes, I've gone through the same thing as she going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
I had to tell my son that his father, who he's grown up with for 7 years, that he wasn't his actual father. So it's better sooner than later, because telling them as a teenager is going to make him feel lied to. It's better to go ahead and tell him when he's a little older and a little more understanding of who and what, so that he know where he comes from biologically. And honestly, her boyfriend he has a say, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
She should just understand, like, hey, this kid has a father. Yes, you want to be in his life and be his father figure, but he has a biological father. And even though that father is going through something right now with his substance abuse and things of that nature, he still has the right to know, hey, I have a bio dad out here. Even though I have another person who's in my life to help take care of me, my family still ranges beyond this. And she should also allow the grandparents to have a relationship with him, because it keeps him connected to his biological family.
Thank you so much, Sean. We appreciate the call. Hey, Caitlin, welcome to the Bert Show. What's your take?
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
My take is that I am kind of in a similar situation. My son is 7, and he does not know his biological father either. His dad walked away during our divorce. And my son is at the age where he understands that his dad is not in the picture, but emotionally he does not have the capacity to really understand that kind of topic. So I have waited until he's a little bit older to approach that topic with him. So I am in agreement with the boyfriend with waiting until he's a little bit older so that he can really understand that kind of topic about why his dad's not around, what his mom and his dad went through, especially if substance abuse was in the picture, because that's really hard for a kid to understand. And if he's got a dad who's there for him and supports him and loves him, that's all a kid really needs to know at this point until he's old enough to understand that. I mean, I really feel for her. There's really no right answer. She just has to do what's best for her child.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. We appreciate it.
The Bert Show.